I just got finished reading Day Trading Attention by Gary Vee. He's very polarizing among some church leaders. They can't take his swearing in his everyday conversation and his teachings. And I totally get that. So if that's not your bag of tea, I totally understand why you don't like Gary Vee's. Others, like myself, we just get past it and we look for the content within. So should church leaders read Day Trading Attention, Gary Vee's newest book? The subline is how to actually build brand and sales in the new social media world. What can you expect from this book? I finished reading it last week. I've sat with it. And the way that I read books is I read it one chapter a day, unless I feel like the chapter is just filler, in which case I basically read until I pull something out of it. And you'll notice if you follow me on X, which there's a link down below, usually my first tweet of the day is something that I read that inspired me that I want to share with someone else. It just helps me keep accountable. If this is your first time here, by all means, like the video if you like the video, and subscribe because I'm sharing many tips to help churches be known. And one of the ways is through social media. Gary Vee basically is a pioneer in social media usage for businesses, and there's a lot of good information and a lot of good practices that he shares that churches can learn from. So can churches take anything from Day Trading Attention? You can get it on Amazon for, it says $40. It's on sale for $20. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I think I pre-ordered it and it got put on my stack and I just now got around to it. So uh, this book is all about social media. This is not about, I guess it is about building a brand, but the vehicle is about social media. It's not so much about figuring out your message. It's not so much about figuring out your brand. You should have all that figured out before you read this book. So if you are still trying to figure out, like, how do I communicate who we are uniquely as a church? How do I uh, 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 make a message or communicate our church services in a way that'll capture attention? That's a little bit of what's in here. But ultimately, I would recommend, number one, the reason you should not read Day Trading Attention is if you don't have any kind of awareness of who you are specifically as a church. If you know how your church is uniquely equipped to uniquely reach a unique group of people, like we always say, and you know specifically who you're equipped to serve, then yeah, you can read this and get some ideas on how to reach those people via social media. The number two reason you should not read it is if you just don't believe that social media is a way to connect with people. Gary Vee really nails it in the book. I didn't pull out any highlighted sections here, but he really nails it in the book that this is a new way to build community through attention. Uh, Gary Vee is always about attention. Attention drives action. One of my folks that I look up to in the business world, Grant Cardone, says money follows attention. We're not for money here, but what this is for churches is about attention. We've got everything, and that's why I started this marketing agency for churches. Everything is competing for attention. Anytime someone's attention, it's a zero sum game. Anytime someone's attention is on things of this world, it's an obstacle, it's a block, it's a noise, it's a feedback loop that's getting in the way and leading people away from God. So if churches can grab attention and pull that attention back to God, remember, the church is not the answer, the church is not the solution, the church is the vehicle, the community, the fellowship, the evangelism, the discipleship. That's the vehicle that we want to turn attention to. Or that's the end goal that we want to turn attention to. So if you don't believe that social media is the way, if you want to just keep doing things in person and keep doing your traditional marketing, you're not going to get much out of this book. This book, you pretty much already have to be sold on the idea that we need to use social media, and the question is just how. So as far as the layout of the book, I mean, it's actually more of a textbook than any of Gary's previous book. I actually have a signed copy of Crushing It that I won from an Instagram contest a while ago, as well as Jab, 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 Right Hook. And I think there's one more book back there I can't bring to mind. But this one is very much a textbook. It is textbook. It almost reminds me of a college textbook. It's what we might call a coffee table format, big. You're seeing this a lot from business people. They want their books to stand out on the shelf. So you get these big hardcover, stand out on the bookshelf, easy to go and grab style books. So, you're going to be using your desk space to read it. One of the things that I like is that the introduction is less than half the book, where he kind of tells you, why we're doing this. And then he jumps right into the framework. And then he jumps right into the last half of the book is basically what's working on every social media platform. And it really comes down to try everything, learn from what sticks, and use the platform's unique um, features. So if a platform has a polling feature, you should use the polling feature. If it has a comment feature, you should be commenting, right? Obviously. If it has music, you should be using music. If it has green screens, you should be using green screens. There is a lot in here. I read the whole book except for the Snapchat chapter. I am never going to be on Snapchat. I will never recommend churches or church leaders to be on Snapchat to even, I mean, I'm sure I have a Snapchat account from a long time ago, but I never use it. And I'm just not a fan of Snapchat. So I just totally skipped that chapter. Um, there's a lot of good information here about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you've been doing any kind of social media, I would say if you've been doing social media for a long time, there may not be a whole lot in here for you to learn, but there is a whole lot in here for you to be inspired about and reminded of. If you're the social media director, there might be only a couple things in here that you'll pull out and want to go implement. Those things might make a huge difference in your life. If you are totally lost in the social media landscape and you want to get started on like what do I do on each platform, this is a great book for that. So if you know that you want to do social media, you want to do it better, I highly recommend this book because it is very textbook format. If I open up a chapter, it will tell me like the differences between each platform that you can do. It'll give examples, you QR code that you can scan, and then every platform has a chapter where it tells you, you know, the science behind it, some recommendations on how to use the platform, um, and different examples of platform places that are crushing it. And that's really, I mean, he's not using his examples. He does use some of his examples, but he's really pulling from people that I know that I've seen and follow on TikTok and Instagram and all that. The last chapter is probably the last part is probably the part that I went through the most because it really is literally just real life examples. Hey, I have a business and my cousin or my nephew runs the social media. What should he do? I have I'm an accounting firm and I want to reach more business executives. How do I reach those people on social media? So it's literally like scenarios and then what Gary Vee would say. It's almost like a text of videos you might see him do in on TikTok or those short things. So, altogether, should church leaders read Day Trading Attention by Gary Vee? If you are intentionally or you want to intentionally use social media, absolutely, you should read this. If you are already using social media and you're not seeing the results that you want to see, you should definitely read this. If you're just curious about it and you want to know kind of what's possible, you may want to pass on this. Again, $20 isn't that much, but the time is really what it's going to take. And if you're not already decided to take action, you know, this may just be you may take your wife out to dinner or find a better way to spend that $20. Because there's a lot in here that if you follow the right people on TikTok and Instagram, you'll probably get a lot of the same information. And of course, it's never information that changes or gives you different results. It's always inspiration. You don't need more information. You need more inspiration. So in order to be inspired by this, I think you already have to have made the decision. We are going to have a strategy, and this book will tell you a little bit specifically on how to do that. So I'll have a link down below if you want to get it now, apparently, because it's 50% off. It is a referral link. It doesn't cost you anything more. It just gives me a little recognition and credit from Amazon. So click that link down below if you're a church leader and you want to get better at using social media. You want to see what's available there. And of course, if you don't like Gary Vee, this book is like a textbook. I mean, obviously, Gary Vee ghostwrites. He said it in his own videos. So if Gary Vee's tonality and the way he talks turns you off, hey, don't let that stop you because this book is not like watching a Gary Vee video. Like I said, it's very textbooky. I could even see this being used in a college course. If a college professor said, "Hey, can I give this? Can we go through this in our curriculum?" I'd be like, "Absolutely, this is a great book." Other books, not so much from Gary Vee, but this one for sure is very a very easy, very simple, but also very in depth read like a textbook. So I guess if you're more of an academic, you'll take a lot out of this versus someone like me who would teach something and it's like I'm just going to tell you what to do and a little bit of how to do it, but you really got to go out and try it on your own. He's very detailed in this. So I'm very happy with this. Overall, not one of the best books that I've personally read on social media. Social Ministry by Miss Nona Jones is definitely a better read for pastors and church leaders. If you haven't read that, go get that one first. But if you have read that and you want to get more into the nitty gritty, the details, day trading attention is definitely the way to go. Like this video if you thought this was helpful. Let me know if you're getting it. Have you read it? Do you hate Gary Vee? Do you like Gary Vee? I know it's a very specific type of person that has to get involved with him, or not get involved, but follow him and be engaged with him. And if there's any other questions specifically about social media, by all means, leave a comment down below and I will answer it or provide another further book review for you. God bless you all. Thank you very much for watching this. Buy the book down below in the link below, and I will see you all in the next video. Like and subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more. God bless.